The one thing that I would encourage you is to add a YouTube channel to your repertoire. Don't stop posting on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Do I think that somebody could put just as much work into a 5-minute YouTube video as a 1-minute short? What's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe and Ryan Halbert. What's going on, Ryan? Come on in, brother.
Dave, what's going on, man?
Holy smokes, bro. You are looking top gun-ish. Good morning. How are you?
See that? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good morning. These things, they're polarized, so I can't see my computer screen when I'm wearing them, and I couldn't find the add to stage button. That's why it took me so long.
You were sitting there on your side, like with the glasses on, looking really cool, but not actually able to get done what you wanted to get done.
Yeah, imagine I had like a blindfold on, and I'm just trying to click around on my computer to figure out how to do what I'm trying to do. But
But
I
if
look
nobody
cool though.
knew, yeah, if nobody knew what you were doing, they'd be like, wow, this guy looks so cool.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He looks so
everybody
cool
probably thinks I
doing.
look really cool. The chat will
Y-
let us know, but they probably think I
Yeah.
look very cool and very lightweight.
So what do you guys think? Do you think Ryan looks very cool? Do you think he's got a lot of times with sunglasses, you have to pick the right shape, right, for your face. You can't go square if you got so I'm look, the first time I actually I'm gonna withhold my opinion here, but if you like the Top Gun rounded shades on Ryan's face, you think that's the look for him, and you wanna see him in those style shades in cowboy attire in Nashville, then let me hear
Ooh.
it in the chat. Okay. Those shades, cowboy hat, man doesn't have. I know this is an embarrassment because we've already been to Austin, but trust me, we're handling these types of things behind the scenes and we're taking the appropriate measures. But Ryan doesn't actually own a cowboy hat. And
I don't.
this is a problem. We're handling it, everybody behind the scenes. Don't worry. Don't stress. We're putting the appropriate disciplinary measures in place to ensure that this sort of thing never happens again. Okay? Because, it's a big deal. But I promise he is going to go early and I'm going to supervise. I'm not a micromanager, but in this case, I feel that supervision is necessary and I will ensure that he gets a proper cowboy hat in Nashville.
Well, here, check this out. See, I mean, me and the old lady, me and the wife, we went to Tacovas this weekend, and so I didn't get a cowboy hat, but I did get something else, and I
Okay.
and I and I tell you why. I tell you why that American Express had one of those good old special offers. Spend a certain amount, you get a big chunk back on my
Ooh,
card. And so
hello.
I says, hello, come on. So I went on down in there. I went on down there and I activated that offer, and we came out with something nice. I can't do a full reveal right now, but
Oh, oh,
uh, it was a good day. Also went into David Yurman, got my stuff cleaned up real
ooh,
nice. So
wow.
that was nice.
Basically, you were out on the town making some moves recently, is what you're saying.
I yeah, I was taking names this weekend. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, we haven't really caught up about, and a lot of times we basically catch up on this show in front of everybody. So I'm learning just as you are learning how Ryan's basically I would say his glow up is going, right? How your
Yeah,
glow up is going. It's definitely a glow up. And I think 2025 is the year that we all invite a glow up. We're halfway through. You're not late. You still can have your glow up by Christmas. Let's get it started. Melissa says bling too. You're right. There's going to be speaking of bling, there's going to be a party Nashville on the 6th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So that's going to be Saturday night to where it's going to be what is it? What is the theme of the party? It's something about bling. So, anyways,
boots and bling.
boots and bling, boots and bling. So, bring your boots, bring your bling. Um, Ryan will make sure to have his chain clean and sparkly, and so will I by the time we come around for boots and bling, my friends. Get your ticket. Meet us in Nashville. In other news, yes, we're tired of wasting our time, as you can see. And Ryan came up with that title. Um, and I thought it was a brilliant title because it's true. Sometimes you just really have to have a conversation with yourself or your team and say, hey, am I wasting my time doing what I'm doing here? Is the marketing strategy that I have that I'm using right now, does it make sense? And, a couple of months ago, I started getting emails from Facebook saying that they were going to delete all of our live videos off of the platform. And I didn't really know what to do. And I think there's some lessons in how we're choosing to go about what we're doing right now. And of course, we're sharing every single lesson with you guys live here on the show. And we're going to continue to be sharing the lessons in our new format as we always do. But here's the lessons. Let me share the lessons. So when I started getting now, mind you, we started this Facebook page back in 2017 when we launched the company. We didn't start really posting content or going live on it until 2020, when sort of everything hit, right? And everything kind of hit the fans, if you will. And am I coming in loud and clear and nice and loud, nice
Sure
and clear?
are.
Okay. Um, And so we went live on the page every single day, 5 days a week for 4.5 days. Organically built the page up to 160,000 followers. We're on the page now, but and it was really never an intention to turn the channel into a YouTube channel or even really expect that Facebook was going to push our content further out like YouTube. We understand it's not a search engine, but we were happy. Sometimes you don't fix in your business, in your marketing. Sometimes you don't fix something if it's not broken, right? And a lot of you guys change things when things aren't broken, when you could really just build on it. And if I think about where I was back in 2020 when we started doing this particular show, Wake Up Legendary, then I for the first 6 months we had hardly any viewers. I mean, it was painful, right? Or at least for the first little while, we had no viewers, and then eventually it picked up. And if Facebook wouldn't have sent out and said, "Hey, we're going to delete all of the live video recordings off of your page that are older than 30 days," perhaps we may not have said we're going to stop doing this every day. But finally, we made the decision that, you know what? I have one big regret in marketing over my 15-year career, and it's not going more all in on YouTube, right? So let's take this as an opportunity. Let's take this as, let's turn our struggle into our strength. This is what I mean by this, right? Like, we could sit here and be super mad and super upset and say, oh, it's not fair. Facebook, why are you doing this? Yada, yada. They're all about the money when they already got billions of dollars, yada, yada, yada. And this is not even world news. This is just what's going on in our business. And each one of you need to address things that are going on in your business as if they are the most important thing in the world, right? So we've been doing this show here for 4.5 years, and I didn't want to stop doing the show until we had another really good plan, because I believe that daily consistent content creation and daily consistent marketing is the secret to long-term success. Like being in front of people on a daily basis, like showing up and opening the doors and unlocking your business every day and letting people know that you're open and that your product can help them is how you stay in business, how you grow your business. It's 101. So until we had a really good plan, um, we didn't want to switch gears. And basically, what we realized is that this was a great opportunity to be able to switch gears, to be able to make that move, right? To use Facebook as really only short form content, still using their groups, but moving over to YouTube for longer form content. And it also goes to show that we haven't had a massive presence on YouTube. We've only really gone live on this Facebook page every single day and had a couple of groups to build community, and we still built a 9-figure company. So you also don't need to be great everywhere. You don't need to be blowing up on X, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. Say maybe you've got a thriving Facebook group on Facebook. You could mine that. Most people do not stick with something and squeeze every drop out of juice that they have. They leave before the miracle happens. They quit before the miracle happens, or they begin to spread themselves so thin trying to be everywhere that their output is only 5% versus 100% in each area, and they only then get 5% back. They're not getting that full kind of, you get out what you put in. You're putting in 5% because that's all the time and energy you have. You're just kind of just kind of going through the motions to try to get something up. And anytime we're doing that with our marketing, of course, it frustrates me, right? Because you can never just go through the motions with your marketing. You can't outsource your marketing. This is one of the things that I think I'm gonna say this because it's a biggie, and then I'm gonna turn it over to the Top Gun man himself. Uh, uh, you cannot outsource your marketing people. Do you realize this? I have tried to do this so many times for so many years to outsource my marketing. And every single time I've outsourced my marketing to somebody else or expected somebody else to come up with my messaging or the correct format for something, it doesn't work. You got to figure out marketing. You got to be in control of your marketing, and you got to participate in your marketing hands on every fucking day. And if you don't, you can't expect your business to grow. I said what I said.
Powerful stuff, man, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree because I kind of fell into that second trap you mentioned a minute ago when I first started mine, which was trying to be everywhere at once and not really putting 100% of the focus into anything. And as a result, everything I did sucked. I was trying to post on YouTube. I was trying to grow the Facebook group. I was running ads. I was on short form content, TikTok, and doing all that. And when I look at like this live stream, for instance, and I think about, well, what some of the options are. I think in 2017, there wasn't probably a better option. Going live on Facebook was like the thing. That was the big dog. There was no TikTok. There was there was an
Right.
Instagram, but it was just an image platform then, right? If I remember
Even
correctly.
2020, bro, even 2020, when all that happened, TikTok really haven't exploded onto the scene yet. You're right. Going live on Facebook or posting long form content on YouTube was pretty much the jam at that time.
Yeah, those were your options, right? And I think Facebook was probably the better option then, and but as the market shifts, things evolve, things change. I took a couple of the replays of these live streams, and I actually took the replay video and I pushed it as a replay live on my personal TikTok profile. And the way TikTok will push out a live stream to new viewers and get you new reach is unbelievable. The amount of in an hour's time, the amount of eyeballs that will come through a live stream is unfathomable. It's crazy.
On
Um,
TikTok, you're saying?
on TikTok, yeah, on TikTok. And this is and like I don't go live on TikTok regularly. I just said, you know what? I've got this desktop studio app. I'm going to download this replay. And it gives you a whole layout thing, Dave. It's like if you think like OBS, that's how the TikTok live application is. And so I could just take the video and just slap it on there. It's a replay, but it looks live because we recorded it live, and hit play or go live, and then boom, it's going live, and people are coming through and they're commenting. I'm like, man, this is unbelievable. At the
It's
very least, we need
unbelievable.
at the very least, we need to be repurposing these as live streams, on here. But boy, what a
Right.
shame it is that it's a replay and we can't interact with all these people on here. So then there's a double-edged sword there. But there's
Yeah.
this other rule. It's actually it's not anything I think that's new or anything I didn't know. But Ty Lopez said it really well. He says it takes 13 hours over 13 months for somebody to become a customer. So if I'm trying to only focus on short form content, I'm going to get way less time in front of people than if I'm doing YouTube, right?
Mm.
If I'm doing long form content and I'm uploading anything between 5 and 15 minutes every day or multiple days a week, as opposed to, trying to get my 3 shorts out and 2 of them are only 7 seconds long, right? I'm talking about a minute and 14 seconds versus a day versus 5+ minutes, right? And I'm gonna get a much bigger connection built. So now I look at, well, people say, well, you're gonna get less views on YouTube. Well, yeah, you get a buttload of views on social media, but would I rather have 1,000 15-minute views, or would I rather have 100,000 30-second views? And I'd rather have the 1,000 long form views. They just convert better. The traffic is higher quality. If somebody sat there for 5 minutes or 15 minutes to listen to me talk about something, they probably care about it. Whereas on short form video, I mean, maybe I was just lucky enough to be the video that was on repeat while they were wiping. But I think it's a much better quality audience you're going to get from there. So, but you know what I mean? Putting all your resources, I think, is the move. For us, at least, putting all of our resources and all of the manpower and all the brain power. The brain power is really the big thing into a platform that can give us a compounding return, compounding ROI. Because once we make an upload over there, that's for life, right? That's like a lifetime, deposit that you just made. And, maybe it's going to be a small return. Maybe it's a 0.01x interest on that. But some of the ones that we deposit are going to be a 50x interest return. And that's just how the game works over there. And over time, all of our videos are going to start to do really well. And so that's going to be the best allocation of resources. You don't get that really anywhere else. You're not getting it on Facebook anymore because they're taking down the live streams. You're not getting it on social media unless you have, like, I have a couple videos on my TikTok that get views and likes and engagement consistently that are from like 2022 and 23 because they fell under some kind of search term. And you can intentionally create content there to do that, but more people are going to be searching for things that they're likely to buy stuff from on YouTube anyway, so you might as well just do it there. Is the way I see it.
Let me piggyback, let me drill down on a couple of things you just said right there, because there was a lot of gold in there, perhaps even some platinum, maybe a few diamonds, and I'd like to just pull them out of there real quick so we make sure we don't miss them. Number one thing was playing those replays on repeat on your live streams. Okay. How many of you just had a light bulb moment? Now we're on a free train, for God's sakes. I'm going to get fired up and frustrated here because, the fact that we just basically give away so much free stuff and then people don't use it, they don't pay attention because they haven't paid, frustrates me. That's why I charge for stuff. I'm going to sit down and not get too riled up here, but I mean, this is free game to the nth degree. You are learning what gurus and basically fake gurus are charging hundreds and thousands of dollars for out here on the internet right now for free. So, point number one, how today can you take content for those of you who have a presentation that you've already recorded, that you have a good version of, or even perhaps you can record a great version and then you play it, a recording on a live stream. Doesn't maybe have to be every single time you go live you play the recording, but perhaps one day a week or occasionally you go live. That's what we're going to be doing on our YouTube channels. We're going to be posting every single day there at 10 a.m. Eastern time, brand new content, and occasionally going live. Which, by the way, you can go over to David Sharpe Live and make sure that you're subscribed to that channel. That's where we're going to be posting the content every single day. That's where we're going to be going live. That's the channel where all of our Wake Up Legendary episodes have been reposted up until this point. But I was sitting at dinner last night. I went to and you and I were having a conversation as I was in the parking lot, Ryan, getting ready to go in that restaurant. And when I got into the restaurant, there was a golf tournament that was playing on the TV, and it was Monday. There's no golf tournaments that happen that carry usually over into Monday. I'm not a golf expert. And I asked my stepdad, I said, Is that going on right now? He said, No, it's just a replay. I said, content. And that's the golf channel now, friends. and that's you now can probably think about other times where a channel has played what's called, wait for it, it starts with an R. Can anybody drop it in the comments? Oh, it's just the what starts with an R. It's just the what that are on tonight. What? Come on, people. What people? Any, where's my
Rerun.
or if you're on the toilet, rewipe. No, and perhaps maybe you're blowing somebody's channel up because it's just going on loop, like you said. But there you go. Okay, I saw somebody get it. Rerun, replay. Courtney got it. Jasper got it. There you go. Replay. Mike got it. Got it. Okay, it's just the replays. It's just the reruns, I think, is what they call them a lot. So a lot of times the reruns can be just as enjoyable, can get the same thing done. I mean, a lot of times, and nowadays, we really don't gather around the TV for at a specific time. We watch things when we want to watch them. It's called streaming, right? You stream it when you want to stream it. It's on demand. It's what people want. They don't want to have to be in front of the TV at a certain time. That's you determining their schedule. So people are already watching reruns. They're already streaming things on their own time. So Ryan just gave us a golden nugget, a platinum, a flawless diamond set in platinum there that you could set, just go in, s- save yourself a ton of time and test something new by heading over to TikTok, heading here on Facebook. I mean, if they're not going to save our recordings here on Facebook, why not just stream reruns? Why not? And we might just do that here on the page. See, one of the things that I like to do is brainstorm live, right? Just sit
Mm.
here and talk about marketing. I mean, what we did last night, this is how Ryan and I operate. And, you guys may think there's some big corporate board that's sitting around making decisions. It's not. It's just scrappy ass hustling entrepreneurs who are trying new things because we don't have bosses that are limiting us. We don't have corporate rules. We don't have dumb bullshit that we play by. We are literally creating our own economy and not even paying attention to what's going on in the marketplace. Not the marketplace, our niche, but not. I don't care what's going on. I'm not trying to be a economist here. I'm trying to create my own economy. And so last night we're sitting in that same conversation I just talked to you about. We're talking about YouTube. We're strategizing about YouTube. We're strategizing about creating content for the YouTube channel and in publishing content every day at 10 a.m. and creating systems to do that. And we came up with a plan that we were going to create all of August content by the end of July, right? That may become the system. I don't know, but that's what we're trying. And we've got now a little over 2 weeks to create an entire month's worth of content that's pre-recorded, pre-planned, and will be released on a systematized schedule. And that is something that anybody could do, right? And that's just bare bones what we're going to publish and post on, say, YouTube long form and the other platform short form, with the occasional replay or rerun running live streaming on platforms, right? But it's like that whole kind of change where we're moving from Facebook to YouTube with our longer form and live stuff and making these changes and sort of coming up with things as we go, because we understand that we're not going to really know if they work until we do them and test them, and we're not going to be able to iron out our message and actually really come up with the correct format, message, clarify what we're going to do until we actually do it and talk it out. And I think that's one of the big things that I hope to share with the community as we're making changes in our business and ending something like Wake Up Legendary, which has been literally a 4.5 year, you know, consistent every single day, never missed an episode project, marketing test that turned into a wonderful, wonderful project and campaign. that's of course now coming to an end because we're going to start a new chapter, and then the thought process behind ending and starting something new, sharing that with you guys instead of just releasing it. There's so many marketing companies that they don't actually teach what they're doing. They don't actually. I mean, I just got done filming a business foundations master course that's a bonus with our AI decade in a day. And, I go over everything, including our company profit and loss sheet. I mean, complete transparency, complete, this is what we've done, this is what we've been able to accomplish, this is why we're doing what we're doing, in hopes that, you guys can pick up a little something and that live, here's why. And then, you know what, in 6 months, we'll be able to look at it. Those of you who are part of the community, look at it, and you'll be able to see the results. And you know what, also hold us accountable. Simultaneously, we're also announcing our plans because this is what I started doing 16 years ago when I was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting on camera. I'm a year clean from drugs and alcohol, heroin at that time." I thought, "Well, how am I going to stay clean?" Well, what if I blow my life up? And I've got this internet business. And I said, "Well, fuck, I'll just tell everybody that I'm clean and hold myself accountable that way, so it'll be less likely to go and screw it all up." Right? Here's 16 years later, I'm still clean. You know what I mean? And I'm still damn, talking about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I think there's some value in sharing this. This is why Ryan and I are deciding to do it and give you guys a behind the scenes look. So make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, David Sharp Live. We're going to be putting the content there starting in August at 10 a.m. Eastern Time every single day, 7 days a week, as well as tons of other content, lots of upgrades and updates to our curriculum here at Legendary, and just always looking to try to stay on the cutting edge and always looking to try to stay in the trenches, because we can't bring our community the stuff that's working really well and stay on top of our game if we're also not in the game. Ryan, take us home, big dog.
Yeah, man. I mean, no, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I mean, the episode of South Park. I don't know if anybody watches South Park, right? They make an episode of that in a week. And so when they're running live, when their season is active and they got new episodes coming out, these guys are working round the clock. They make an episode in like 4 or 5 days, which when I learned that, this is from a documentary, that
Mm,
blew my mind. I says, wow, this show looks like it has a lot that goes into it. I mean, first off, just they don't even have an idea yet. They don't even have a script. They have no idea what each episode's going to be until one episode airs, and then it's like, all right, let's move on to the next. And so on the other side of that, I've seen some other shows where they talk about how, they're kind of pre-planning everything, doing it all in the off season, and then it just runs. But I think, man, you know, they're grinding really, really hard now. These guys, these Trey Parker and these Matt Stone guy, grinding really, really hard, so that way they get this all done, and then in the off season they don't have to do shit. They don't have to do nothing. They just relax. They go to the beach, whatever they want to do. I don't know what they do, but they don't have to do nothing. And so I've come to realize that with these YouTube and this YouTube approach, we could do the same exact thing, right? Have that backlog. We have a ton of stuff on the back burner that we can create now. And then we can upload in so many different ways. We're getting such a larger return in terms of how we can distribute all of this content we put together. So not only now are we able to create a lot more in a condensed period of time, but we also got more distribution for it, because every long form video could be a repurposed live stream. Every long form video could be posted to multiple platforms as a long form video. It could also be clipped up into shorts and reused. So we're just getting a much more massive return. And so I would be willing to bet that there's probably a lot of people watching this right now who are putting the same, if not more, effort into their 1 minute shorts that they would have to, or we will have to put into one long form video. Dave, I don't know about you, but I think there's a really good chance that a lot of people watching this that are posting content are probably putting just as much effort into those 3 little short form contents that are going to get you 2 minutes and 30 seconds of somebody viewing you at most as you could into one really good long form video.
I think it's an interesting way to look at conversion is from overall views to how much are each customer watching their watch time, right? Like striving to bank more watch time with your audience versus try to bank more overall views, which sometimes can be vanity only, right? I know a lot of people who
Yeah.
have gone viral and don't get a single sale or very few followers out of it. So going viral is not always what it appears. It's literally a vanity metric. I mean, there is a lot of people over the past, say, since, in the past 4.5 years who have way more views than I do on the internet, but have made way less money, like way less money. And it's not even comparable. It's not even close. Right. So, um,
Let
you
me put
know,
it to
in
you
it,
this way. I mean, the I'm looking at the analytics from my most recent TikTok video. It got 10,000 views. The average watch time is 16 seconds. 10% of people watch the entire video.
yeah,
Crazy.
that's
Crazy.
that's that's the problem with short form video now is that the everybody and I think this is true. You really got to hook them in the first couple of seconds. You really got to hook people in the first couple of seconds. Have a good hook. But back to your question, do I think that somebody could put just as much work into a 5-minute YouTube video as a 1-minute short? And the answer is yes and no, right? No, if you're going to like, no, if you can just get a 1-minute short out really fast, but most of you can't, right? So you're obsessing over it, you're perfectionizing it, you're editing it, you're then not posting it, you're taking it down, you're way too emotionally attached to a singular piece of content. Whereas if you could just get on video and start getting good at talking direct to camera or creating longer form videos for YouTube. Remember, you can also post shorts on YouTube. You can still do your shorts. And I would honestly say don't stop posting on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Right? You can really post the same, like bare minimum, you can really post the same video to TikTok, to Instagram, and to Facebook. You can post the same exact video. Just make sure there's not a watermark on it. But they're totally different platforms. They're not going. You're not going to get penalized for duplicate content. And then you can post that same short form reel on YouTube as a short. The one thing that I would encourage you, and I've challenged even our personal private coaching clients to do the same thing, is to add a YouTube channel to your repertoire, to add a YouTube channel to your toolbox, because practicing longer form video talking gives you it kills multiple birds with one stone. You get good on video faster, so you're going to get more comfortable if you can just record it and post it instead of worrying about all the edits and all the crap. Just post it, decent thumbnail, good headline, write the headline before you film the video, Mr. Beast style. He says, hey, we make all the headlines and all the thumbnails first, and then we create the video. You add that in 2025. It's all you're doing is adding, even if at the bare minimum you're posting one video per week on your YouTube channel. It's bare minimum. You're adding that because what I can tell you is that just from posting the replays of Wake Up Legendary, here's the proof. Remember, I got to give some personal experience. This is not our opinions are based on our personal experience, not based on overall statistics of stuff. Um, but at the same time, you can look at YouTube accounts that have had consistent posting and they have grown over time. It's almost impossible not to grow if you're posting consistently over time because you have no control. People are going to subscribe. Um, we posted over 1,300 replays of Wake Up Legendary onto the YouTube channel. Now, with a long intro at the beginning, horrible. They get very little views. It's not optimized for YouTube. It was literally just us reposting them over there just so we had them somewhere else besides YouTube, Facebook, in case we ever lost the account. And lo and behold, we're losing all the videos on Facebook. So thank God we did that. But my point is that from just posting replays and then some videos from before, I never had before we started posting Wake Up Legendary more than a few thousand subscribers on that YouTube channel. But by just posting the long ass replays of Wake Up Legendary, and even though they hardly get any views, that YouTube channel still grown to over 40,000 subscribers. That's why I'm saying add that. And what you'll see is here's the other thing you can do. You can send people from your emails to your YouTube videos. You can use your YouTube videos as lead magnets. So now instead of creating a new PDF, you give something away on a post on Facebook. Would you like to, see how I did XYZ or learn about this, that, the secret to this and that without doing this? Well, that's your YouTube video. Is all you do is when they say they want the information, you send them to the YouTube video. So you're cross promoting. And then in the YouTube video, you have more of an opportunity to spend more time with them and give them a call to action for a link down in the description and actually convert a sale from YouTube. And so it's a way to keep people on social media where they want to be, but have a little bit more time where you have a chance to sell them and actually make a call to action off of YouTube to get them to go and buy something. And I think that's really the simplest key. What does that boil down to, friends? Just adding a longer form, opening a YouTube channel, adding a 5-minute video, one per week at bare minimum, and one per day if you can do it, right? Just getting in front of the camera, talking, not over editing it, crop, post, done. Those are my thoughts. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if it's particularly easier to record a YouTube video than it is a 1 minute short, but I definitely think that if you guys just get better at not over analyzing and picking yourselves apart, you'll be able to move pretty quick and you'll be able to expand more easily. So that's my 2 cents on that, my friends. And Ryan, appreciate you as always. Lots of nuggets today for sure. Really, really pulling back the curtain, okay, in a major way for all you guys, because that's what we love to do around here. We love to pull the curtain back and talk about what it's really like. That's what this whole channel and this whole company has always been about. It's been about really pulling the curtain back and, letting you guys know what it's like to have a business and build a business mostly with very little experience. That is what we've specialized in over the past 7 years, is helping people in many cases make that transition from employee to entrepreneur, or at least add that side hustle or full-blown business. And one person has helped another person, just as you heard yesterday on the interview. The unquiet teacher, go look her up, got her inspiration from another teacher within our community, Kelly. And you know, there's literally nothing. Um, this lady's power was just in realizing that um, if others could do it, she really could too. If others deserved it, she did too. And so, thanks for trusting us. We're going to keep saying this, of course, till the end of the month. Thanks for trusting us with all of you guys' time over the last 4.5 years on this show. And we hope that you'll continue to join us over on Facebook for our daily uploads and continue to allow us to be a part of your journey. With that being said, we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. We're going to keep going live here till the end of the month. We can just make the switch now. We can just say we're going, but you know what? We're going to follow and finish through until the end of the month because we want to make sure that everybody knows kind of what we're doing. Keep talking about it. And if you guys have questions, bring them to these next Wake Up Legendaries. And we'll try to dig through the comments and make sure that we answer your questions as well. to make sure that you guys are having every opportunity that you can to get help, to get support, and get answers to your questions. So thanks, Ryan. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another episode. Get out of here, my friends. Peace.
Peace.